Okay, so here what we're going to do is start expanding our keywords even further. And this I like to think of as I have there, AKA, also known as digging for gold, because this is really the way I look at it, as far as, going out there and finding these keywords that are inside of Amazon, okay, and that are converting, that are getting impressions, that are getting clicks. And the more that you can find, the wider reach you have for your product. And not all of your, all of your sales have to come from these top level keywords. And it's kind of like years ago when we are talking about like ranking your website for keywords, everyone was saying, go after the long tail, go after the ones that are very long, like, 3 or 4 or 5 words long. And if you could pick up, 10 extra visitors a month from that one keyword because you ranked for it, you were doing good. You just find a bunch of these, right? Find 1,000 of them. Well, it's the same thing here. If we can find one keyword, okay, at 1 sale per week, that's going to equal 4 sales per month, okay? But now if you expand that out and say, okay, what if I find 25 keywords at 1 sale per week? That's going to be 100 sales per month, okay? So that's really what I want you to think about when you're doing this expanding of your keywords. And you should always be doing this, okay? Because if you're still bringing money in, you should be reinvesting it into strengthen your product line and the search for your product and your keywords that you're ranking for. The longer that you do this, the more keywords you're going to be able to rank for. Okay. And the thing is once you do this, like let's say that we pay for 25 keywords that we get 1 sale per week each, right? And we get 100 sales per month. Once you continually do that, you're going to start ranking organically, and then you're going to receive even more sales through that keyword because now you're ranking organically. So that's really what we're doing here, okay? But you can see here, I've got that little gold bar because that's the way I look at this. I mean, I'm a big fan of the show Gold Rush. You may or may not know that from my podcast. I mean, I love that show because they go out and they drill ground. They see if they can find ground that seems as though it has some gold, and then they dig and then they sift and then they see, what is good and what is not so good. All right. So they only go where the ground is rich. And that's what we're doing here. Okay. And it's so easy to do because Amazon allows us to do this. All right. So I just wanted to give you an example again of one of my campaigns. So here's what one looks like. Okay. And you can see here, I've got 801 keywords in this particular ad group. Okay, in this one campaign. Now, I put a little note there. Only 20 of those keywords in that 800 converted to sales. So this is what I want you to understand, and I want you to do, is I want you to just grab a bunch of keywords that are related to your product, okay, and I'm going to show you how to find them, and then from there, put them in a campaign all on their own, let it run a little while, and see if you can find 1, 2, or 20 converting keywords, okay? And then you can build off of that and you can see which ones are converting and which ones aren't, or you can see the ones that are getting impressions but not converting. And there could be all different things we can tweak with that too, because maybe maybe your listing doesn't have enough reviews yet to get a lot of conversion. So you can kind of look at that, but it just gives you a lot of intelligence, and this really helps you expand out and over time have some campaigns that are really, really successful. All right. So I wanted to show you this too, because once we go into the keywords now this is kind of going into that list that I just showed you. And obviously this is just like, the first few that are in the campaign, because there's over 800 in there. But you're going to see that, and I can sort these by sales, and that's what I did here. And you can see that the top one has 142,834 impressions, 200 clicks at 45 cents. I spent $90.60, but I brought in $485.25, 19% on the ACOS. You can see all of these keywords are doing well. Some of them only got 1 sale, but some of them got 3, 4, maybe even 10 sales, okay? But this is from doing exactly what I'm telling you to do, and I'm going to show you how to do, is how to find and kind of like drill your little test holes and then take some of that dirt and put it into the hopper and see what is going to produce gold, okay? And that's what we're doing here, all right? So I wanted to just point this out again. These are a couple of the campaigns that I have running from this exact process. And you can see here, I have 801 keywords in that campaign. I've got 801 in that campaign, and I've got only 8 in this one. That one there is called hence the gold rush thing, gold nuggets won. Okay, so that tells me now that campaign I took and I put those 8 keywords into a campaign so I could scale it if I wanted to. I've got a budget of only $25 right now, but $866.25 was spent, brought in $2,090.76 worth of revenue. Okay, 41% on the ACOS. All right, so just wanted to show you that. And then this here, again, let's just kind of look at this. You can see this is looking at that particular campaign, those 8 keywords, those 8 golden nuggets, let's call them. I bid 85 cents. I've got 8 keywords, 1 ad, okay, which is the 1 listing. I've got 1,016,270 impressions, 1,540 clicks, $866.25 spent, and $2,090.76 in sales, 41% ACOS. Really, really good stuff. And that's from finding these golden nuggets. All right. So here is 3 different ways that we're going to look at and we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you some examples on how you can dig deeper. Okay. So one is using the good old Google Keyword Planner. And that one there, I already showed you, and you can look for that lesson inside of module 3, and that one there I believe is lesson 7. All right, and that there, and I'm going to show you again here real quickly. I'll go through another example, but you can go there and you can see exactly how I used a competitor's URL, their website address from Amazon, and how I went through and got a bunch of keywords that are related to their product. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is AMZ Shark, and this is the Keyword Explorer option that I use inside of this tool. Now, I've used this tool in the past for watching my ranking. I've also, used it for getting keyword ideas from looking at the reviews, because it has a review function in there. It's not cheap. I believe right now, currently, it's about $50 a month. I still do have it, and my main use for it right now is the Keyword Explorer, and that there just kind of reverses and scrapes the competitors that I'm tracking inside of there, and it gives me a list of keywords. And I've done this numerous times. And one of the campaigns that I showed you, not one, actually 2, let me kind of go back here if I can. These 2 right here, those right there were from using AMZ Shark, okay? And I used that. Now, I'm going to tell you that there's another tool that I've been recently using as well that does only this feature, and it's a little bit more cost effective. And I'm going to show you, and I've used them both, and they both work. But I guess the main takeaway here is to realize that right there, the 2 campaigns that you see right there, are the result of doing this whole reverse engineering and scraping the keywords. All right. So that's AMZ Shark. And then 3 is the Keyword Inspector tool. And that's the one that I'm going to be showing you that you can just pay for credits. You don't have to pay for a monthly fee, and just pay for credits. And then it'll do a search for you. And then you can go ahead and use those keywords in a campaign. And I've done that as well, and it works. All right. So I'm going to go through these differently. Now, this one here, the Google search, the spy on listings, I'm going to show you that again really quickly. But module 3, lesson number 7, I go through this exact procedure as well. And again, I would use this technique with 5 to 10 of your competitors and create separate campaigns. That's what I would do. And I would start the bid, low, maybe 25 cents minimum, and then kind of see from there. If you want to be aggressive, go right to 50 cents or 75 cents and see what happens. All right. But for a low point, especially when you're doing these scraping type methods, you can definitely, start with 25 cents, and then just, if you're not getting impressions, just keep increasing it by 10 cents or 20 cents until you start seeing some impressions. So the first way here that we're going to talk about is the Google search. So let me just jump into Google and the Keyword Planner, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're inside of Google AdWords, and all you got to do is just search for Google Keyword tool, and it'll come up in Google, and you can just click on that. I'll leave a link as well in the outline or the notes from this episode. But yeah, you just type in Google Keyword tool or Google Keyword Planner, and you'll find it. And you do need an AdWords account. It's free. It's, you don't have to do anything special. So then basically you just have this here will pop up, okay? And then you'll go into, you can either go here and just type in like tea infuser if I wanted to, okay? And then I can go ahead and just get ideas. So let's just do that. So you can see here immediately I've gotten all of these. So if we look over here on the side, this is the top one, which I searched for, has 18,100 average searches inside of Google. And then you can look over here. If I wanted to add all of these keywords, there looks like there's 801. See, there's that 801 number that I use. And I can just add these over to here and then just export that. But let me just show you the other way. So this is a way that you can drill right down. And I don't go through these and go, oh, this one doesn't really make sense. And nah, that one doesn't make sense. Nah, that doesn't make sense. I don't do that. What I do is I just say, let's just speed of implementation, right? Add all, download, or I go here, download ideas, right? And I just take that, copy that, and I create a new campaign inside of Amazon. I paste it. I set a daily budget, a cost per click, and I hit go. That's it. Okay. That's what I mean. That's how fast you can load 800 keywords that are related to this particular thing that you're selling. And if you look here, best tea infuser, loose tea infuser travel mug, glass tea. Even though yours isn't a travel mug, people that are searching for a travel mug might want your tea infuser. So that's what I mean. Like all of these usually make sense. All right. So that's what you want to do. Now, let me just go back and let's start over again. Let's get rid of this. And then let's go to Amazon. And then I went and I searched for one of my competitors. Let's say if I was going after this market, which I'm not. And if I wanted to now, I could take this URL up here, copy and paste it, and then go over to the keyword planner, go to your landing page, paste it, and say, get ideas. And now here, it'll either give me ad group ideas. Okay, so there's all these kind of like into groups, or I can say keyword ideas. That's what I'm going to do. And then from here, add all 895. Now, if it'll only accept 801, if that's the number inside of Amazon, which I think it is, then it'll only allow you to put that many in. So just add them all. So if I add them all, you can see we've got all over here, loose tea strainer, and it's showing me now there's 800. So now I can go here and I can copy this to my clipboard, or I can go here and download the plan, which is basically like a text doc. I usually just copy it to my clipboard, and then I go over to Amazon, create the campaign, copy and paste them in manually, set my daily budget and stuff, and I'm good to go. So that's pretty much how you do it. And again, while you're in here, you can see they give you the trends, they give you all the search volumes, all of this stuff. But I don't really care about the numbers, I got to be honest, because Google is different than Amazon. Amazon's numbers for searches are different than Google, but it's a great way to just get random ideas of keywords that you wouldn't have thought of, okay? And that you would have been like, oh, why am I going to, put that keyword in? It doesn't make sense. But a lot of times there's variations of certain things that can come into play. And it's another way for you to just get ideas. Okay. So that's how you do that. Let's move on to the next method. So the next method is inside of AMZ Shark. And I'm just going to give you a quick, really quick kind of walkthrough on how this works. Once you're inside of the AMZ Shark tool, you'll see all of this stuff on the left-hand side. Now you have rankings, and that's what I said. You can check your rankings daily. You can go in here for certain keywords that you want to track against your product. So if you want to track certain keywords, you can just add these here. This is what I'm using this most for, is Keyword Explorer. And all you do is you add the ASIN, okay, inside of here, which is your product URL. You can either do yours if you want to, or you can do competitors. I do competitors. And then I just hit add job. Now this will take usually about 36 to 48 hours depending. Sometimes it'll happen as quick as 24 hours depending on how long the listing has been out there. And I don't even know how it works, but it goes out there and it scrapes that listing, and it comes back with a list of keywords. Now you can see here there's 292, there's 184, there's 78, there's 146. I can go ahead now and I can click in here on one of these, and then I can go ahead and download that list of keywords that it gave me. But let me just show you this real quick. Here's another one that I recently did, and it had 869 keywords. Okay, so it ranges depending on how old the listing is. It'll give you a variety of keywords. Now what I do is you just click on this here, okay, the number, and that's going to be the keyword number, okay? And then from there, you just go up here and hit CSV, and then that will download that entire CSV file, okay? Basically the text file that you can then copy and paste. Now here it'll show you the position that they're ranked for, it'll show you the total results, it'll show you the related keywords. I don't look at any of that stuff. I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to just look here at the CSV, click that, give me that list as fast as I humanly can get it, and then from there I'm going to paste that into another campaign. And this one here I might label it AMZ Shark dash whatever, whatever keywords 1. or something like that. And then AMZ Shark keywords 2 for another competitor. And then another one, so I would keep it organized that way when I would do my campaigns. But that's how I would do that. And that's how I use this particular tool. Like I said, if you look through this, you can see they've got something here that is products. It'll give you like product ideas, new product ideas, product spy, review spy, super URL. It'll give you a service where you can go ahead and put your URL in there and it'll create a super URL. So there's a lot of different things that you can use within this. I personally have this. The only thing I mainly use it for right now is rankings and Keyword Explorer. But in the future, I would probably look at the Review Spy, which kind of just gives you a glance of your competitors even. Because you can keep your competitors in here to kind of keep an eye on them and the reviews that they've had come in and see if they're either good or bad and how many they're having come in. So there's some neat things you can do here, but I don't think this is something that you necessarily have to have. I think that it's something that if you're making money and you want to come in here and have a rankings thing that can kind of track your keywords and your rankings and maybe even competitors, and then from there do this reverse kind of keyword lookup, then it's worth it because I've already paid for it by using a couple of campaigns as I showed you before. Now there is another way, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, that you can do this without needing this particular software or having a monthly plan. But before that, here's what you're going to want to do with this. You're going to want to create a new campaign for each result. Okay, so each result that you get from different competitors, you're going to want to create that new campaign. You're going to start the bid low. Like I said, 25 cents is a good kind of benchmark, but you can, if you want to be aggressive, go 75 cents. Watch your impressions and bump if they are low or if you're not receiving any impressions. Okay, now tip here. Relevancy also plays a role in showing up for pay-per-click ads. Now, if you're not receiving impressions, it could be due to relevancy. And what I mean by that is if you're bidding on keywords that are nowheres to be found inside of your listing, like in your description or in your title or in your bullets, well, then that's probably why you're not showing up, because Amazon will not just let you bid on a keyword and show up if you are not relevant to it. Okay, so you have to have your keywords sprinkled in there. And that's why in your description, you want to be as broad as possible of related type of keywords. So when you start to explain your product, you want to include these inside of there. So if you see a keyword you're not getting any impressions for, it could be because you don't have that keyword anywhere in your listing. So just a little side tip there for you. So now what I want to do before I wrap up this lesson is have a look at Keyword Inspector. Now this does the exact same thing, and I actually think it might do a little bit more of a thorough job. But this here will allow you to take an ASIN, okay, of any listing out there, a competitor or even your own. And what it'll do is you just put it in here and then just scroll down a little bit and it says extensive keyword rank search, 3 credits per ASIN, okay? And the credits, it's all based on a credit system. So you buy credits and you can just pay by PayPal and you can get them in batches. Okay. And I think, let me see here. If we look at buying credits, let's look and see what the current pricing is. For 10 credits, it's $20. So it's 3 credits per lookup. And you can go and buy bigger packages if you want. Okay. But basically for $20, you're going to be able to look at probably 3 listings really, really deeply. Okay. So not a bad deal. Like I said, AMZ Shark, it's a great tool and it has other features and benefits, but you're going to pay $50 a month right now currently for that. So basically to get started with this thing, all you do is just get your ASIN, okay? And that is found, like I've shown you before, is just, you can either go up here in the URL bar, okay, right there's your ASIN, or you can just scroll down and then go down here where it says ASIN, and then you just copy that one right there, okay? Copy that. Then what you're going to do is scroll down after you've purchased credits, of course, and then just hit Start Reverse ASIN Search, okay? Then once that's all done, you're going to go into this search history right here, and it usually takes probably, I'd say about 15 minutes to complete. Sometimes it'll take up to an hour, but basically they'll email you when it's completed. And then once you get to this screen, okay, after that's been completed, then you can see your different searches, okay? Then you just go here and then you download the CSV file, okay? Now, let me show you what that looks like. So here, I did a search for the tea infuser. I spent my 3 credits to show you what this thing looks like, all right? So this is what it gives you, okay? Now, I want to show you something. Let me scroll down all the way down to the bottom. It gave us 1,043 keywords in one simple search. Okay. So it scraped that listing and it gave me over 1,000 keywords. Okay. Now, the other cool thing that this thing does is it also gives you individual unique words. So these are all words that are unique that are basically inside of that listing. So it gives you some really detailed stuff. The other thing it does is it gives you the Google monthly for all of these keywords. Okay. Now remember, these keywords came from that ASIN. Okay. That's where they came from. So imagine doing this for, let's just say you spent the $20 and you did three searches. Okay, you'd have over, let's call it just 800 keywords per one. You'd have 2,400 keywords, 3 separate campaigns that you're going to be able to turn on and say, does this thing produce any converting keywords? And even if you only find 3 keywords that convert to sales on a regular basis, it's going to be well worth it. Right? So I just wanted to show you this here. It shows you here also the ASIN keyword. So it gives you kind of like the relevancy, the word rank. It gives you all of that stuff. So like T-infuser obviously is the #1 word rank, right? Loose leaf, it gives you, it's rank 2. T-ball is 3. So these are like the most important, all the way down to the ones that are just kind of not as important, but still could be useful. And that's why I would just copy this entire list, copy and paste it over into Amazon pay-per-click into its own campaign. And I would do this for 3 campaigns or 3 listings right off the bat. I'd find 3 of the top listings, and that's what I would do. All right. So that is this particular keyword inspector tool. Like I said, it's a buy credits system. So all you have to do is buy the credits. There's no monthly fee, and I do use it and I do like it. So I just wanted to share that with you. So just to finish up here, again, you want to create a new campaign for each result that you do, whether it's through the Google search way, or if it's using the AMZ Shark way, or if it's using the keyword inspector tool that I just showed you way, okay? Or if you want to mix and match. Every time you do one that creates a whole list of keywords, create one campaign separate for that and identify it so you know what ones are working the best. All right. And then you may have to play with the cost per click, your starting bid, and you may have to increase it to start seeing if you can bump up the impressions on that. All right. So I think you can see that there is endless amounts of deep diving here and drilling these test holes, if you will, to find these golden nuggets, these golden keywords, right? So here is your homework. Okay. 1, I want you to really get into this. I want you to research and I want you to create keyword lists. And I know myself, I get into this stuff and I just keep drilling. All right. So it can become addicting as well. But don't overdo it. Come up with like I said, if you can do 4 or 5 certain listings that you want to scrape keywords for, or if you want to, dig into, I would go with that and just start there. Okay. And again, make this part of your weekly or every other week type of thing to do. Okay. 2, you want to create individual campaigns per search. Okay. And 3, you want to start your bid low. 25 cents is probably the lowest. I would say if you want to be aggressive, start at 50 cents or even 75 cents. And then 4, watch the impressions. And if they're low, increase the CPC, the cost per click, until it increases. And then if it doesn't increase after that, you may have to go back to your listing and see if the relevancy isn't there. So that's your homework. I hope you're as excited as I am. I love this stuff. And you've got some homework to do there. So go ahead and roll your sleeves up, get yourself a cup of coffee or your favorite drink, and go ahead and dive in and start finding these golden nuggets for your listing. All right. So that's going to wrap up this lesson. Do your homework. I'll see you in the next lesson.